elbow. Chance to go elsewhere.
Did you guys do that? Or did it come in? Nice little
Hey, what's up guys? We're just hanging out here in the back of my truck with the Milwaukee 7200 watt lithium battery roll-on generator. There are a ton of videos on YouTube already covering this unit and all of its features. We're just going to touch on that stuff briefly. This video is geared more towards how this unit is a great addition to our trade, doing line work, especially underground line work. We saw during the opening of this video, we're going through a huge project in our downtown area, converting all of our overhead lines to underground. I've been really anxious to get my hands on one of these guys. After a few conversations with Milwaukee, we were talking about its capabilities. One of the most common places where we would use this, being a lineman, is doing underground work using our capstan cable puller and our blower for underground. We're going to show why in a minute and why this is such an innovative tool to help us in that work. One of the biggest reasons I did want to make this video is when you watch other videos online, there's a ton of mention about this is an expensive unit. People saying, you know, I can head to the local hardware store and pick up an 11,000 watt generator for only $1,000, where this unit will run you into the several thousands. Right off the hop, I will mention electricity is still a lot cheaper than gas. So over time, there's a ton of savings right there. Also, this unit has zero emissions and is virtually quiet compared to a gas generator. So if you're in the construction world, you can literally drag this unit into the building, have it set up right in an enclosed space, an electrical room, an apartment, whatever, and have this guy running all of your equipment without having to worry about emissions. This isn't something you're gonna buy as a homeowner for when the power goes out, for example. This product is designed for trades. Even on a general construction site, building a home, most tools contractors use now are battery operated, but they still do need some AC power on site. It can cost them several $1,000s just to set up that temporary power, just to charge their batteries and run the odd tool that they don't have in a battery version. But you can load this up in the back of your pickup truck, not have to worry about the investment in time and money to have temporary power set up. And this guy is going to cover absolutely all your needs. So just a super quick overview. This unit is rated for 7,200 watts startup and 3,600 watts consistent running power. You boot this guy up, it's got some really cool features. We're at 85% battery life right now. It's going to show how much draw once you plug your tools in there. Right now it's at 0, we don't have anything running. But once you plug your tools in, this will show you how much time left you have. There's also a little compartment here for USB charging devices, and there's zero power fluctuation, meaning you can plug in sensitive electronics to this guy. The 20 amp sockets are also GFI rated. We get a couple breakers on the side, and we've added our daisy chain rapid charger, which locks right into the top, so you can charge literally a dozen batteries off this unit. One last thing I will add, it does have some rugged all-terrain wheels, making accessibility with this unit quite easy. We can lift up our handle, basically making this thing work like a dolly, and using the rails in the back, you can see I've got them fairly scuffed up already. It makes it easy to drag this unit up and over a large step. So really what made me want to do this video, I had a few conversations with Milwaukee about the unit during our downtown conversion. For those of you not familiar with working on underground power lines, you're often in confined spaces. There's a ton of regulations when working in confined spaces. They have to be constantly monitored for any toxic gases coming out of the drainage system, the sewage, or simply just stagnant air. Even exhaust from cars is a major challenge, as the exhaust is heavier than air and it tends to pool in those underground pulling pits. So during the conversation with Milwaukee, my first question was, is this guy going to run one of our blowers? If there is an area with a lot of exhaust filling into a pit, that's going to be picked up by our gas detecting units while the guys are in the pit. The air quality has to be constantly monitored while the guys are in the pit. There also has to be a rescue system. It typically involves a tripod standing up over the hole with a motorized or crank jacking system. The guys in the confined space are wearing a harness, so if they were to fall unconscious from breathing in toxic gases or lack of oxygen, we can easily lift them up and out. So one of the solutions, if we detect toxic gases in an underground pit, is to replace that with clean air. That's where this blower comes in. Problem is, there's no battery operated blowers. We have to plug in one only. It's got this huge tube that comes out. You can put that in the bottom of the pit and force all the foreign gases out of the pit. The major challenge is we typically run that guy with a generator. So we've got a generator sitting at the top of the pit, putting out CO2, which then falls back out into the pit. It's just a constant circulation. When seeking a solution for this, Milwaukee assured me that absolutely it can run that blower fan to replace the air with a unit that is not only going to have emissions, but also be quiet. You don't have that generator making a ton of noise over your head the entire time you're working. So another challenge that we encounter is during the initial construction, it's pretty easy. The pits are open. We're able to access the pits with our large pulling equipment, which is attached to trucks. It's all very accessible as there's new construction in the area. But as the city grows and these spaces, these pad mount transformers and these pits become inaccessible, you end up using portable pulling equipment, a portable capstan. The majority of capstan equipment are run by cords, AC, plug-in. There's not a whole lot of battery stuff out there that's effective. So what I really wanted to try out was to see if we could run both the capstan with load on it and the blower fan off of a battery. If we can, that's huge. That solves a ton of problems. So that all being said, what I wanted to do was see if this guy can handle powering up both the blower and our capstan puller with load on it, of course. We've always had a generator sitting at the top of the hole, and man, that thing will drive you nuts, the noise alone. So I really wanted to test out if this guy could handle it. So we just had a pretty basic setup in my backyard. I rug up one of the capstan pullers to a tree in my backyard. We filled up a bunch of bins full of tailings that totaled a little over 500 pounds in weight, sitting on a pallet. Not to mention, we're gonna drag this pallet with over 500 pounds across the lawn, hopefully not ruin my lawn. And basically, I wanna see once this guy has load on it with the capstan puller and the blower, if it can handle it. So while Milwaukee did ensure me that this guy could run the blower or could run the capstan puller, they never did try them both at the same time with actual load on it out in the field. But we fire this thing up and I'm not really overly surprised. It handles it quite easily. We're able to use the capstan puller, pulling that 500 pounds of tailings along with the blower, and we still have over an hour and a half of runtime on the unit. So in conclusion, guys, while it is a big investment, in my opinion, this guy is a must-have for trades. It's already got me out of a couple binds, and it's really nice to have that portable power without the exhaust fumes and especially the noise. Man, the noise of a generator when I'm trying to work drives me nuts. So a big thanks to Milwaukee for sending this unit out to see if it's rugged enough to handle our needs as linemen, which it absolutely does. I'm really excited to be able to do my work in the future without hearing that generator roaring in my ear. So thank you again, Milwaukee. And for those of you that are interested, I will leave a link in the description that goes to the Milwaukee website where you will find more information as well as pricing on the unit. Thanks guys, be safe, and we'll see y'all soon.